Hello, it's Alina from Xactimate Mastery here. Today I'm going to show you how to sketch well, it's not really a tough roof, but it's one that's kind of funny. You can see it here down below. I'll show you a little preview of what we're going to be sketching today. And it's actually not that hard. You just have to use a tool that not many people know exists. So we are going to sketch this gable roof with this little flat pop-out guy here today. So let's take a look at how to sketch this in Xactimate. I'm in a sketch already in an estimate, and I've already got my main gable created. I'm going to go to the properties to show you that I've already got quite a steeper pitch on this. It's a 10-12 that I've got set on the main gable. It is kind of typical for this style of roof. It also will make that flat roof that we're going to jut in here stick out more easily. You'll see as we go through this process, the jutting out of the flat roof is usually quite a lower pitch than the main gable, but out in the real world, of course, you can take those measurements and make this into what you need. So I'm going to leave the 10-12 main gable pitch, and I'm not going to break this flat roof off of the main gable because it's actually not much of a time saver here. And I'm going to do more clicking to make that square break flat roof, behave rather than just going and grabbing a new roof, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to the top left corner, and I'm actually going to grab a flat shed roof just so you know which roof type I'm working with. Now that arrow that you see there, that's going up the slope, and this particular flat roof does follow the slope of the main gable. It's not in any way opposite. Now if you do find that it is opposite, we could just tab around and set it that way. Just as an example, let me show you what this would look like so you can get a feel for how it's different. This one meets that way. See how it juts out at a quite extreme angle. What we're looking for is actually for it to follow the same slope. So I'm going to tab back around there. You also can use your orientation tool just as a bonus tip there. Use the orientation tool and that will also change the slope of your roof. Number arrow is going up the slope. So I do want to leave it like this. There we go. So if we take this roof and try to place it right now, it's going to give us this weird error. So what we're going to have to do is move the roof walls or adjust the roof height so that it won't give us that strange error. So I'm going to click on the roof itself, then right click and go to adjust height. And it's going to show you the relation to the roof here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it 5 foot up, and then you can see we've got these roof walls that will protrude down. And then I can move this back over to the roof and should be able to get it to stay. There we go. So while the roof or flat roof is out in blank space, right click and adjust the height. I can do the same thing while it's on the roof. So right now it looks a little silly. It's just a little tiny baby roof there. What I do is I play around with the adjust height until I get the correct dimension. So again, to go to the adjust height, it's not in the properties. You actually have to select just the roof itself. Sometimes it helps if you zoom in. And then you have to right click and go to adjust height. Now maybe 7 foot might be more reasonable here for our Eave Height A. And so if we go back out here, you can see in 3D, that looks a lot more reasonable. And adjusting that height really is key to making this look like the roof itself. Now, the one problem I have is it won't show you, the dimensions from there to there. And then if you go into 3D, you can't see any dimensions from here, this roof edge to that roof edge. So that's a little bit irritating. However, you can get your dimensions spot on here. Notice that I can see my height of my eave here, 3'2". If we go back to the roof height here and go to adjust height, you'll actually see that the eave height doesn't say 3'2". So that's why I say you have to play around with this a bit. You might have the actual dimensions from the field of what the eave height should be. So up, this from here to here under the eave should be 3'2", maybe out in the field. You can just play around with that in that adjust height in order to get that correct. There really isn't any handles or anything that I can use that makes any sense here in order to pull that up. It's very strange how it works here in Xactimate. So go ahead and just do what I do. right click and we'll play with these dimensions here until you get your correct eave height, which is actual over, in case you're painting on siding or painting it or something and you want to have the correct, you've got to just kind of bounce back and forth between the adjust roof height and the 3D to get the exact dimensions. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's because it's taking the height from this end of the eave here down to the slope of the roof. That's what I'm kind of thinking is 5 foot, or you know, the dimension that it's listed. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know in the comments. I don't deal with these types of roofs every day, so if you do have some insight on what you think is the difference between the adjust height and the measurements that you see over on 3D, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. So that is how we create that style of roof. One last thing, guys, if you go over to your estimate items, you will see that the roof is not attached. The roof one, or the new flat roof, is not attached to the main gable, meaning whatever I add to the main gable is not going to roll out here to this flat roof. So what you'll need to do is make the flat roof a part of the main gable, and you can do that by going to the properties. Of course, just highlight the flat roof only. Go to the properties and show it as a subgroup of main gable. Now you'll see the part number pop up. Going back over to estimate items, there you go, your main gable now contains your flat roof. So don't forget that last little step, or else when you add material to the gable, you're missing out on all the material that should go on the flat roof as well, and that's not going to be good for you. If you like this topic, please be sure to like this video. It's like gold for me here on YouTube. Also subscribe to this channel. We update usually every Tuesday, sometimes on a Wednesday, adding new content and tips and tricks like this in Xactimate. My name is Alina Wilson with Xactimate Mastery. I train contractors how to use Xactimate and just how to simplify your supplement life. So that's my goal over here at Xactimate Mastery. For more information, check out www.xactimatemastery.com, and I will see you next week.